Hello there and welcome to the Sheffield United way. We've just watched another defeat. That's 4 in 4. 3 in the league, 1 in the League Cup. And it's just not good enough, is it? Is it just on the manager? Is it on the owners? Is it on the players? Because it's getting a little bit out of hand now, because that what I've just watched today was absolutely disgraceful. It really was. It was that bad. We had, we had some chances that they came few and far between, and they were mostly towards the end of the game, which just shows that we weren't creating those repeatable patterns of play early on. We weren't imposing ourselves on the game. We're playing at home, for God's sake. Look where we are. We're at Bramall Lane. We should be taking games to people like Millwall. I'm not disrespecting Millwall, but Millwall weren't very good today. But that just shows how bad we were. If Millwall came to Bramall Lane, took 3 points, kept a clean sheet, that's on us. That's not on them. That is completely on us. Wasn't good enough. I can't see where it's going to get better though. That's the problem. Like, I'm looking at this team, I'm looking at this forward line, and if you'd put Andre Brooks in there as well, you can throw him in, Cannon, Campbell, Gus Harmer. We're looking at Callum O'Hare, we're looking at 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏, Burrows even. Like, we've got a very, very strong attack, and it does feel to me right now that the manager's just not getting enough out of these players. There's been a lot of rumours about players not being, on board with 𝗍𝗫𝗍's ways, and I don't know what that is. I can't say for certain, but it's really, really starting to grate on me with how bad we are right now. We're so bad. We are so bad. Not just defensively, but that goal was horrendous to concede. Really, really bad. I don't know who it was that wasn't picking their man up, but it seemed like a free header, and then it seems like their lad just picked the ball up and just casually walked towards the goal and put it past Michael Cooper. Now, Michael Cooper's a fantastic goalkeeper, and he's probably stood in that goal thinking, the only goals I'm going to concede are where we've made a mistake at the back, and we've made another mistake at the back today. Again, I'm not too sure. I don't know whether it was on that left-hand side, so it's either going to be Robinson or it's going to be Burrows. Could be Bindon, who knows? But that brings me on to talking about the starting lineup as well, because you've brought in a colossal man like 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏, and you're sticking him at right back. Like, he looked quite good. He actually played really well for me, 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏. But you're playing him out of position already. I know he has played right back in the past, but he's playing out of position. You're bringing him in to play him out of position. Now, I don't think Bindon's been great since he's come in. Robinson looks like he's completely checked out. And actually today Robinson was a little bit better, but in previous matches it looks like he's checked out. I think he's more than happy to move on. Obviously it looks like we're going to be bringing Tanganga in. They were even singing 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏, what's the score? Like, how embarrassing is that Millwall are coming here to Bramall Lane singing about a player that we're signing from there. We're such a big club that we're signing their player of the season, and they're singing 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏, what's the score? That just shows how bad we are right now and how embarrassing we are to watch. Because I'm sort of thinking that when 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had that Sheffield United side, it wasn't a terrible side, but he wasn't getting anything out of them. Nigel Clough then came in and got way more out of that same side. We had Conor Cody in there, we had Jamie Murphy in there, we had Josie Baxter in there, and 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wasn't getting anything out of these players. Now, Clough came in and he sorted that out. It almost feels like right now we need someone in, someone experienced, that's going to come in and get the best out of these really good players that we've got. Now, don't get me wrong, I think that the players, it's on the players as well. I think it's well on the players as well, because I think Gus didn't turn up until the second half. I think he was very wasteful with chances in the first half. Second half, he had an absolute perler of a strike saved by the keeper. Bearing in mind, I think we've got to say that the the Millwall keeper today had an absolutely fantastic game, a really, really good game. And I think that we've got to take our hats off to him, because that save from 𝗍𝗲𝗲 was beautiful. There was one from 𝗬𝗽𝗵𝗵 that he saved down to his right hand side, really, really smart save. That could have gone in the back of the net. Campbell had a chance. It wasn't the goalkeeper that saved, it was a header that was knocked off the line. Just going through chances as well, I think it was 𝗍𝗲𝗵𝗵 had one that whistled wide of the post, or it seemed like that from the south stand. There was a lot of chances in the second half, and that's not really good enough for me. I don't think we had a shot on target in the first half. I don't remember a shot that we had other than Burrow's wayward strikes in the first half. Again, not good enough. When you're asking your left back, who's a very good striker of the ball, in all honesty, to take pop shots from outside the box, and that's how you're hoping to score a goal, it's not good enough. But it actually felt like from minute one that we were really, really up for this game. Even Tom Cannon were jumping up for balls and disputing challenges and stuff, and it was like, wow, yeah, this is what we want. And then we just fell back into the same old story, not creating chances. And this is, 𝗍𝗍𝗲 didn't create loads of chances last season, barely any, because he's a defensive midfielder. And 𝗚𝗿𝗿𝗍 didn't create chances because he's a centre-back. What's happened? And I know there's been a few players that we had on loan that have gone back, but we've still got some really, really exciting attacking players. We need to utilise them better. Obviously, Gus has gone to this sort of central midfield role, which is, I like to see, and it looks like 𝗍𝗿𝗄's playing a defensive midfield role that he doesn't necessarily want to play. 𝗍𝗿𝗄's playing in a position that he's not suited to. Like, 𝗍𝗍𝗲 was that defensive midfielder destroyer, and that's what I thought we were bringing 𝗬𝗍𝗍 in for. And then 𝗬𝗍𝗍 is on the bench today. Like, what was that all about too? So we're asking 𝗍𝗍𝗄 to play on his own in a defensive midfield role when he's not really a defensive midfielder. He's somebody that carries the ball well. He's someone that is going to get his foot on the ball a lot, but he's not someone that's going to break up a lot of play. And he's been asked to play that position on his own. Gus played a little bit further forward, and so did 𝗍𝗲𝗵𝗵, and that's what I like, that idea. But you need someone in next to 𝗍𝗍𝗄. Either it needs to be someone next to 𝗍𝗍𝗄, or it needs to be a 𝗍𝗍𝗲 type of player, somebody like 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗍. I'm not saying 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗍 is necessarily, you know, the right man for the job. He's there, and he's the only player that we've got that can do that role right now for me. So why is he on the bench? And why was he not brought on? Because we were clearly not necessarily imposing ourselves on that game in the midfield. Lots of passing, nothing that was really created. So yeah, we've got a lot to work on, a hell of a lot to work on. And I think it's time that people are going to be saying, say us out. I really do. I'm not saying that, but I am really, really worried. And we're in that really weird stage where we have got to do more business. We need to bring in more players. And is Sayers really the man that we should be trusting with bringing in those players? I'm not saying that he should go, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be bringing in players. What I'm saying is we're going to be bringing in the players that Sayers wants us to bring in, and then if things don't turn round, he'll be out of the door. Of course he will. This is football. So what do we do? What do we do? With 4 games, we've lost 4 games in a row. I'm not sure a manager in my lifetime has ever done that. Like, Chris Wilder didn't start great in League One, but I don't think he lost 4 games in a row. I'm going to have to check that back, but I don't think he did. And yes, that's 3 championship games. Don't get me wrong, that's 3 league games, but 2 of those have been at Bramall Lane. We've scored 1 goal in 2 games and conceded 5 at Bramall Lane. It's just not good enough. And even players like Tyrese Campbell stood there like, I've got no support whatsoever. Gus needs to book his ideas up. He really does, because Gus has been put... I'm a massive Gus fan, as every Sheffield United fan is, but Gus has not been good enough. I think we've literally been lying we've been giving our full attacking prowess to 𝗬𝗍𝗵𝗵𝗍. And it's like, 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗴, go and create something, go and do something. And then at one point they were doubling up on him, and it's like, of course they're going to. If he's our only outlet, because we've got a striker playing on the right wing until Brooks went on there, and actually Brooks were pretty poor in my opinion when he came on too. And we keep bringing 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗴 off. We keep bringing him off in every game, I think, this season. And 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗴 seems to be the only player that's actually looking like he could create something. And that's a big worry too. I don't know whether 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗴's struggling with fitness, but you know, the team is going to get better. Of course it is. We are bottom of the league. We've lost 3. Even Wednesday's overtaken us. Wednesday were 2-0 down to Wrexham away, and Wrexham managed to blow it. And Wednesday, with half a team and, you know, probably loads of youngsters on the bench, have got more heart than this Sheffield United side. It's not good enough. It needs to get better. Whether that means the manager going, whether that means some of the players going that aren't bought into Sayers' as system, because I've heard lots of rumours that, you know, the dressing room's split in half. Players that are on board and players that aren't. The players that aren't either need to go or the manager needs to go, one or the other. Because if this is going to continue like this, we're only going to go one way. And actually, no, we're not going to go one way. We are just going to stay where we are, bottom of the league. How can you go? Sunderland are in the Premier League because, fair enough, they beat us in the playoff final at Wembley. But how are we bottom of the league? How have we let ourselves become bottom of the league when we finished 3rd last season? Yes, we've let 2 of our better players go, but that doesn't mean that you lose 3 league games in a row. It's not good enough. Something needs to change. Again, I don't want to say what has to change. I'm not sure I'm quite there with what I feel like needs to change, but Ruben Sayers, it needs to change. Something has to happen, and these players need to be playing for the badge and not for themselves, because it felt so disjointed today. So disjointed. The only link-up play that I enjoyed watching was Burrows, Harmer and 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗴. Those 3 played some half-decent football together. Other than that, it's just dreadful. It's dreary. It's really not fun to watch. And I know a lot of fans said, do you know what, we're going to concede a lot of goals this season, but we're going to score a lot of goals. Where are those goals? The 2 goals that we've scored this season, including the League Cup game, one was from the halfway line and one was a pretty nicely taken goal. And I think that all gave us a lot of confidence, thinking we're going to go and absolutely run riot in this league. And, you know, we're nowhere near it. We've lost to Swansea City away from home, which was shocking. We've lost to Millwall at home, which we've done in the past, but quite often that's just Jake Cooper doing Jake Cooper things. Today, this was not good enough. And we've lost to Birmingham City, a team that were in League One last season, and we've lost to Bristol City, a team that we beat 6-0 in the playoffs only, you know, a few months ago. So, as I keep saying, things need to change. It's not good enough. The players are still good enough. I do think we need some reinforcements. It looks like Tanganga, as I mentioned earlier, is going to come in. That will bolster that centre back, and you know, I feel like it's going to be Tanganga and Godfrey for the rest of the season. Fantastic. I thought that was going to go on for a lot longer. It didn't. But we also need some reinforcements going forward too, because right now these lads are just not singing off the same hymn sheet, and you know, we're not going to be anywhere near the playoffs at this stage. And I've tipped us to finish 2nd. I honestly thought this was the time to have a foreign manager, and he was going to, you know, do the business for us. And again, it's not worked. I don't want to see a Sean Dyche or a Steve Cooper, but it might have to be just to get some wins on the board. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That was a voice crack. Unfortunate. I'm here at Bramall Lane. Hopefully next time I'm at Bramall Lane we'll see a win, but you know, it's not looking good. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
𝗚𝗿𝗏𝗚𝗿 𝗚𝗏𝗚𝗚